Okay, so I'm gonna do a video for you. That I'm probably not gonna keep this video on my phone, so it'll be just like a one-time video. But it's according to your August 9th, 1963, you have a life path number of 9, okay, and a birth date number 9. So derived from adding just August 8th plus the 9, okay, plus the 19, okay, and the 6-3. So, which totals to 36. So, and reduces to 9 on there in simplicity. Okay, so this double 9 configuration amplifies themes of humanitarianism, completion, wisdom, and compassionate hardship, or leadership, I'm sorry, not hardship. So you have a lot of leadership skills, basically, and you're one of those people that are driven to succeed in anything that you do and say. And with the people that you have around, you're definitely influenced in the right direction. So, but there are some people in your life that don't always have your best interest at heart. So let's see here. So I'm going to pick 7 cards here. Actually, I'm going to pick 9 because we'll just keep it. So 9. So okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. Okay, now this one is really... Okay, I came out to 1. Now, I do my angel numbers a little bit different, so you'll have to bear with me. So this one is 1515 is what came out on this first one. So it's called the Big Break: innovation, focus, creation, progress, momentum, mastery, achievement, and passion. So an exciting opportunity, support, or extra resources are heading your way. Keep moving forward with enthusiasm and enjoy the process. True success comes from passion, and your dedication will be handsomely rewarded. So this is based on your birth date. This one's August 9th of 1963. Okay, so we're gonna go back in here. Okay, so there's that one. So you have a lot of ambition as a person in general. Okay, so your life path 9, in the core numerology breakdown, it represents a lifetime focus on universal love, philanthropy, wisdom, and letting go of the past. So you are here to serve a greater good. So you have a purpose here on earth that's going to serve a lot of good for people, not just for other people, but also for yourself. So you're like I said, you have leadership skills, and you are very prone to a successful life. Okay, so your birthday number 9, so it highlights your specific daily trait of being generous. So you're highly creative, broad-minded, and naturally magnetic to others. So you naturally have a lot of friends. You naturally get along with people. You're laid back, you're energetic, but there are times where some of the people might take your kindness for weakness, but you're not weak. Okay, it's not a weakness, it's actually a strength that you have, but it's also can be your downfall, because there are people that will take advantage of you at times. And the ones that are taking advantage of you, you need to get out of your life completely, because they have no respect for you. And those people hold no purpose or value in your life. Your quality of your leadership skills, your success, the hard work that you put in your everyday life is far more valuable than somebody who has disrespect. Just plain and simple. Okay, so this next one is 222. Okay, 222. And it's feminine forces, so relationships, harmony, prosperity, collaboration, patience, humility, support, and connection. So while you have the strength to accomplish everything on your own, life is meant to be shared. So you're looking for somebody that you can share your life with, but that you haven't found it yet because it's so hard to find somebody that will have respect for you. So you need to find somebody that has a partner within the right spirit, and together you'll become an unstoppable force. So honor your commitments and value the people around you. Avoid judgment and focus on listening to build meaningful connections. So you want to listen to people more, because if you don't listen to people and you're not open to what they're trying to tell you, even if it's something you might not agree with right offhand, sometimes you got to give a little bit more trust and be more open about what they're trying to actually say, because sometimes I'm feeling like you get a lot of miscommunication a lot of times, and a lot of times it can become impulsive, and it's to the point where you find yourself in a lot of arguments, even though it's really not a situation where you need an argument. It's not always a necessary thing, and it doesn't mean that two wrongs make a right. It just means that things happen in life that we can't foresee, and there's always a way to fix it. Okay, so the 1963 influence, adds an underlying thread of independent leadership and original thinking that balances your deeply compassionate core. Okay, so with the relationships that you have, so when it comes to your relationships, we'll get to that here in a little bit. So anyway, but your key traits in your life themes, your compassion, your idealism, you care deeply about humanity and feel a strong pull to help people in need of support charitable causes. Okay, so that would go into like the fact that you love dogs. You're a dog lover, so you genuinely have a feel for something that, or you're just a caring person. And that goes with people too. You do care a lot deeply about the people that you have in your life, and they're important to you. So you want to make sure that they're safe and they're making the best choices as well. Even though you cannot make or force anybody to believe or follow the choices that you decided to follow on your own in your life. But there are people that will follow you with sound wisdom and advice and understanding. It just has to be reasonable. Okay, so creative expression, you're combined with your Leo astrological influence. So Leos you do get along with, but they influence you in a way. So the number 9 gives you a dramatic, warm flair for the arts, storytelling, and mentoring. So you're a good teacher, and you're also really good at communication. You have high charisma. So that tells you right there that you have a lot of potential and you love art. So you have an engineer's mind. Okay, so natural humanitarian. People trust you easily because you project profound empathy and a non-judgmental attitude. And that coincides with your everyday activities. So because you care so much, you let people stay with you, you allow people to get the help that they need, and you care about their well-being, and that's an important thing. Emotional support system is a big deal. Okay, so here's 000 is what's coming up next for you. Limitless potential. So transformation, serenity, trust, achievement, release, potential, success, and triumph. So this is a powerful reminder that anything is possible. If you can dream it, you have the ability to make it a reality. What someone else has can also be yours. Stay calm and trust that what is meant for you will come your way. Release any tension and embrace relaxation, knowing that your potential is boundless. So you definitely want to have people that you can trust around you, because without having that trust, there is no foundation. So with a foundation of trust on there, you can be safe in knowing that these people that you're bringing in you don't have to worry about anything bad happening. I mean, of course, things happen in life where you get let down, and that's normal. But it's the extra things you don't need, like somebody stealing from you, somebody lying to you, somebody cheating on you, somebody, and vice versa. You want to be, you want to find somebody that can give you both emotional well being and support, and also physical emotional well being and support. Okay? And somebody around your age. And it's a 00 there. Okay, so now we'll go back into relationships. So what in relationships? All right, so now we have, when it comes to your relationships, for someone with a double number 9, okay, you have a double energy 9, born August 9th of 1963, so that's a double. So relationships are deeply meaningful, intensely felt, and centered around mutual growth and shared ideals. Here is how this unique numerology profile plays out. So in your connection with others, so your key relationship dynamics, you have deep empathy. So you love with an open heart and naturally absorb the emotions of your partner. So when you're feeling a little agitated and you don't know why, it's probably because your partner is feeling agitated and they know why, but they just haven't said anything. Okay, so you're probably getting there's passive aggression there, and there's also walking on eggshells, which is actually an unhealthy thing. So being able to have a strong communication between both of you and mutual understanding with unconditional love and respect, and just being open and honest with each other is a big deal. So otherwise you're going to find conflict. And so you need somebody that you can trust fully. Otherwise it's not going to work. Okay, so making you incredibly supportive and understanding. Okay, so and you also have a healer trait because you're empathetic. You feel sorry for people. And you can put yourself in their shoes because you've been through a lot of different experiences, and you walked a lot of different paths during your lifetime. So you have wisdom and knowledge and experience. Okay, so you are often drawn to partners who need comfort. So people who are a lot of times vulnerable in some ways, but that are going through things that they can't heal on their own, so that they need support. So healing or guidance, though you must be careful not to sacrifice your own peace to fix someone else. So you don't want to overdo things and overhelp somebody, because you can't do everything for somebody, even if you want to do everything for that person. But there are things that you need to have healthy boundaries. Okay, and the need for personal space. So even though you are deeply devoted, you require quiet periods of solitude to recharge your energy from heavy emotional weight you carry. High expectations. You hold an idealistic view of love, seeking a soulful, honest connection rather than a surface level romance. Okay, so this next one, we have 1122. Okay, so we have great shift. So transformation, spiritual awakening and manifestation, unity, alignment, and fulfillment, expansion. So for that, we have first acknowledge the positive changes unfolding as a result of your hard work. Then open your mind to new possibilities and allow yourself to explore new avenues. Many positive shifts are on the horizon. The world around you is aligning with your intentions, supporting your growth and your dreams. Okay, and we have taking chances. So sometimes you have to take a chance on somebody on there, but you don't want to take a chance on the wrong person, because then you're bringing in the same issues that you've already dealt with before. So you want to bring new people in, but people that you can know for a fact that you can trust without having to worry about those hangups that you have dealt with in the past. You need to know that you can trust that person before you bring them in, even if they're new. Okay, so taking time to get to know somebody would be one before having them move in. would be a good example. Okay, so balance, caution, awareness, boundaries, health, communication, serenity, and protection. So you definitely want to be yielding. You want to yield in some aspect to the fact that you want to be precautious in what you're doing with when it comes to people, and because there are some people that do not communicate well and you might take things wrong. Okay, because I'm feeling like there's some obstinance going on there. Okay, so take a moment to observe the people around you, your environment, and your health. This is a gentle reminder to stay cautious and alert to prevent any future issues. Prioritize clear communication and maintain healthy boundaries to ensure your well-being. And I believe I said that on the previous card. That was the third one. We're on card number 4. Okay, so we're on 0707. Compromise. So you might have to make some choices here. Compromise. Okay, so just a second here. Okay. So you have the self-awareness, you have forgiveness, empathy, professionalism. You have to remain professional and still have that respect about you, because people have more respect for you when you have that professional level, because you are a businessman and you probably work really hard for what you own and what you have, and even the relationships that you have in your life, you value those. Even valuing your family. So release what no longer serves you and let go of grudges. Openly express. So forgiveness is a good one on there. You need to learn how to be more forgiving of those that might not be at the same level as you are. It could be age difference. It can be just a knowledge barrier. It can be miscommunication and confusing situation, maybe a lack thereof. So when understanding is lacking, it's best to move forward. Embrace the truth and it will set you free. So sometimes just accepting things the way they are, if they're acceptable to live with. Because you can't force everything to be the way you want it to. Nothing's perfect. Okay, so we have 7777. Okay, so perseverance. So keep going. Okay, perspective shift, reflection, resilience, inner wisdom, enlightenment, and determination. So now is the time to shift your perspective on the challenges that currently dominate your life. To achieve success, continue on your path with determination. Tap into your inner wisdom, and you will intuitively know the right next step to take. So keep going, perseverance. Even when the going gets tough, you want to stick it out with that person. If you found the person that you feel, and it has to be a mutual thing. It can't be just one-sided. But it doesn't have to be perfect either. 0404. Because it's like a two-way street. So in a healthy relationship, to compromise means that your two people work together to find a middle ground where both feel safe, respected, and valued. Okay, so it is about balancing your own needs with the needs of the person that you love, okay, and care about. So because your profile is so deeply shaped by the number 9 energy, which is highly giving, compassionate, and idealistic, your definition of compromise needs a very careful balance. Okay, so what true compromise looks like is a two-way street. Both people adjust their expectations. Okay, so based on what's going on with both of you or one or the other, you have to be able to adjust and be flexible, because not everything's going to be one way or the other all the time. It's going to have to be a mutual understanding. You'll have to find some balance between the two. So that way you can move forward and move together. Okay, so with whoever this is. Okay, so then one person does not do all the bending. Okay, so both people would adjust their expectations. So it can't be just one-sided. Finding a third option. So it is not about one person winning and the other losing. So it's not a competition here either. So you want to find somebody that's not going to one-up you. You want to find somebody that's on your level. So where you're both equal to each other, but you do your own things at the same time. But you can work together and live together and breathe together and, you know, just be able to relax for once and trust each other, you know, because breathing is always a good thing, right? Okay, so finding, so it's about creating a new solution together that makes both people happy, not just one or the other. It has to be both. And respecting their differences too, because not everybody's going to agree on everything, and you have to be able to be comfortable if one person doesn't agree with you. If one of the people doesn't agree with you, you're going to have to be like, okay, is it worth being hung up over this? Or is it worth the time to just move on, accept it for what it is, and then just work your way around it without changing anybody? Okay, respecting differences. Okay, just having respect. It means accepting your partner, that your partner might see things differently without them criticizing you or forcing you to see exactly their way. So you can't force everything, because a forced relationship doesn't work either. It's unhealthy. Okay, and the last one is 1414. Okay, so we have light up, okay, and I consider this a sign of a God's light. So good vibes, balance, respect, family, optimism, quality, and new connections and joy. So focus on your needs, desires, and passions. A light-hearted approach makes everything more accessible. New opportunities, a fresh friendship, or even an addition to your family are on the horizon. Positive energy will accelerate the flow of blessings coming their way. I'm seeing a new puppy. Maybe a cat. New friendships. All that stuff. So I'm going to end it there, but you want to also be careful because you naturally care so much about harmony. It's easy to confuse healthy compromise with unhealthy sacrifice. So don't sacrifice your circumstances for somebody else if it's going to mean that your boundaries are being overstepped. Okay. And you want to guard your peace too. So you want to know that the ultimate lesson in compromise is learning that you cannot compromise on your own self-worth. So if your self-worth, or if you're feeling depressed, you probably, and if it's the relationship, you have to be able to look and discern, is this a relationship that I want and need? Or is this a relationship that I just am trying to have because I want a relationship? Because it's not going to work if it's going to be forced. You know, it has to be flow natural. It shouldn't be, there's going to be hard work involved, but you shouldn't have to overdo the hard work. Maintaining a balance. Okay, and self-control. Okay, true love will never ask you to stay in a place where your support system is pulled away. So you should still have your support system. They should be able to accept your friends. Of course, they don't have to like everybody, okay? And they don't have to trust everyone. It just depends. But they should be comfortable with you having the people in your life that you choose to have around. Okay, so maybe somebody that you can find some common ground with when it comes to relationships and friendships and people and make sure that you're both on the same page when it comes to that. So a real partner with respect to your boundaries will give you the space you need to recharge and will walk with you towards a fresh, peaceful beginning. So even if you're in a bad mood, your partner will give you that space because they have respect that you have boundaries and you deserve to be able to breathe sometimes. So letting you still do your hobbies, still enjoying your life, you know, different things that you like to do with yourself, or things that you want to pursue, you know, your work, your, you know, how you want your house. They'll have respect for that. Okay. So we can look at how to set healthy emotional boundaries in a gentle way or discuss some clear communication phrases. Okay. But you definitely don't want to sacrifice every little thing in your life just for somebody else, but you definitely want to be focused, and you want to figure out where your boundaries are in that sense. So that's quite a bit for August 9th. And I think actually August 9th, and let me see, we'll read your horoscope. August 9th, 1960, was it 60? 1963 horoscope for today. I'm going to read your horoscope to you. So today, August 23rd of 2026 marks a powerful cosmic shift for your Leo sun sign as the sun officially exits your sign and enters Virgo. Okay, this moves into a phase that values practical grounding, self-worth, and emotional boundaries. There again, boundaries. Okay, healthy boundaries though. Okay, you are worthy, healthy boundaries, things that you can't compromise because of reasonable reason. Okay, with the moon moving through structured Capricorn and squaring Saturn, today's stars ask you to step away from dramatic expectations and focus entirely on protecting your inner peace. So getting away from people who cause drama in your life you probably don't want to have around because it's weighing you down. Okay. A shift towards self-worth and stability. So early this morning, the sun entered your second house of personal resources and finances. For the next 4 weeks, your attention turns to building security and recognizing your own worth. Retirement, maybe. Stepping stone. Maybe you want to rebuild something. Maybe you want to fix the windows in your house or something. You know, renovations. It is time to look closely at where you invest your energy and try to make sure that you are not giving away too much of your personal power to others. So don't give all of your personal time to all this negative energy, because it's just going to weigh you down and it's going to waste your time. It's nothing but empty drama. There has to be a balance and a limitation. Okay, so your handling your emotional friction. So today's moon in Capricorn clashes with Saturn. Okay, so you might have been having a hard day today. Maybe it was in the morning, but you definitely, it's going to pass. Okay, but this can make the atmosphere feel a bit heavy, rigid, or critical. So if you encounter a passive aggression atmosphere or minor conflicts with others this morning, the stars advise you to slow down and refrain from rushing into arguments. So sometimes walking away and just taking a breather and then thinking about what was going on and then coming back to it in a calm manner is always a healthy thing. You don't want to stress yourself out. You don't need a heart attack. You do not need to prove you don't need to prove yourself to anyone today either. Private seriousness versus public warmth. So your natural Leo warmth. Okay, sorry. Okay, so your natural Leo warmth is still highly magnetic today, so which may bring invitations or comforting connections your way. So however, there is a healthy underlying need for private space and quiet rest. So you need some quiet time. Okay, you are carrying heavy thoughts that you may not be ready to discuss openly. Give yourself absolute permission to step back from social expectations to recharge. Just having a you day. Maybe watch some movies by yourself, maybe spend time with the dogs, maybe buy yourself an ice cream and just chill, you know. But don't keep your feelings trapped inside like quiet heat before a storm, because if someone pushes your boundaries, use this grounding Capricorn moon to quietly and firmly step away rather than trying to fix the situation, because not everybody's problems are yours. Okay, and with you knowing that, it's not your it's not your job to fix everybody else's problems. But if, as a friend, you do have to have boundaries, and of course it's okay to help people, but just know that you don't have to fix everybody else's problems because they're not your problems. Okay, so trust your inner wisdom over the noise around you. Okay, so if your gut intuition says I can't deal with this, then you tell them, I'm not going to deal with this, I need to leave this alone. And then just walk away from it. Don't even bother. All right, so that's the reading that I did for the August 9th of 1963. That's for Leo. I hope you enjoyed this reading, and I hope you have a blessed day.